Hi there guys, great to see you all once again. Welcome to Wayne's Cave, and in this video is mainly just an introduction into using our Raspberry Pi at a portable level, just using tablet, connecting via its hotspot or Wi-Fi connection. As many of you out there are saying they struggle to find information on just using this method, because like lots of us, we go out into the field, we still want to use our same software and the stuff that we are used to using at home. So, and this type of setup with a Raspberry Pi like stellarmate here is ideal for both of those situations. So just a brief introduction to what is going to be a set of videos on a brief guide how to set up and run, in this case, stellarmate app via a tablet. Of course, there's many ways to connect to your Raspberry Pi, like the stellarmate, or just as there is with mini PCs that ride people's rigs. You know, there's a multitude of ways of configuring your hardware, software, and network system. But there's a lot of you, like myself, a couple of years ago when I first started dabbling with Raspberry Pi and connecting my equipment, my initial goal was to have that sort of compact portability in controlling, you know, the equipment I had set up on a nice portable tablet. There are realms of information out there when it comes down to desktop application and you know, hardwired connections and such like. So I thought, after a few requests, help I can't connect via my Wi-Fi signal, help I can't connect to the Raspberry Pi's hotspot, help I can't discover my Raspberry Pi on my tablet. All these things keep cropping up. So I thought, right, okay, I've sacrificed all of my settings, my configuration, everything. I've factory reset my stellarmate here. I've reinstalled the stellarmate app. So in effect, I'm, like many of you guys out there, starting from scratch. I'm going to have to register my app to my stellarmate and my app to stellarmate.com, as this is the stellarmate operating system that we're going to be running. You may just have a Raspberry Pi with the stellarmate operating system on your Raspberry Pi, which you've loaded on yourself, and the same thing applies. So guys, best of luck. I would suggest just slowly go through each video. This is designed not for the IT technicians out there. This is for the consumer, as I was a couple of years ago, and through the trials and errors over the past couple of years, some of the bumps and lumps you run along the way, I'm going to try to remember these different things that can knock you off course into getting successful control and connections up and running on your tablet. So best of luck to you. It's an amazing world to get into when you get it all up and running, so stick with it, because there is nothing quite like certainly this operating system and setup. I adore it. It's all together in when it's configured and up and running. It's a lovely smooth flow of setting up, acquisition and storage of all your pictures, in a nice, understandable way. So good luck. Pause the videos anytime you want to. Just try, I suggest upon the connection parts of the videos, the earlier ones especially, have your stellarmate go through some of the stages, see what happens with you as you're going through the stages. If it's not quite going right, just pause it, double check some of the faults that I raised could be happening, and then because each stage does have to be completed excuse me, before you go on to the next. If one stage isn't done successfully, there will be troubles down the line potentially. Okay guys, let's get stuck into this, and I'll see you on the other side. There we are. I've just powered it on. We've got a settled red light now, which is what we're after. Now let's get over into the app on the tablet to get things going. Okay guys, we're here on my Huawei Mate Media Pad, generic Android pad. So we'll tap on stellarmate app, we'll let it open. I'm just hoping now, access this device's location, doesn't really matter, deny or allow, doesn't really make, anyway, allow. Now then, so sign into stellarmate.com. As you can see here, it says this is only done once to synchronize your account. For updates and stuff like that, mainly for like desktop versions really, but it syncs your account to the one that's registered when you purchased it, sort of thing. I'm just hoping that I am remembering my password, but we're typing here. Like this. I'm wondering if it will show you. This is my password at the minute, so it's not your password. It's the one you will have set up on the stellarmate site. So if you haven't done that, go on to the stellarmate website, log into your account, because basically, if you've got that on automatic, like a lot of us do on our computers, it just signs us in automatically. Go to your account details on their site and it will tell you your username, obviously not your password. It won't spell that out for you, but if you can't remember, you can actually type in a new one on there, I believe. But the thing I'm not sure about is if you do change that on there, is it an instant type thing for you then to be able to put it into the app? That, does it take a little while for it to actually be set on the system? We're to find out. Anyway, so your login information basically is on there. So while we're doing this, first of all, your tablet wants to be connected to the internet. And sign in. Right, okay. So now we're still connected to the internet, and so if we hit this rescan button in the top right hand corner, it's not going to pick up a stellarmate because we haven't configured it to a Wi-Fi. So what we need to do is drag down from the top, go into your settings here, your tablet settings. Then obviously in this list, look, wireless and networks, Wi-Fi, and it's showing what Wi-Fi I'm connected to. So we hit that, please, and there we go, fourth one down, look, stellarmate, no internet access, which is fine. So we hit stellarmate, and then we ask to connect to that hotspot. So we're connected. So now it might pop up a warning saying there's no internet access and try and kick us off of it. But so I'm going to now just cancel this page. I open, where you've got different things here. Here's the warning window. Look, the current Wi-Fi network cannot access the internet. Switch to another network. We cancel that because we don't want the internet network. Open up stellarmate again here. Excuse me. So we're on stellarmate network now, so we can scan for it on our app. So we hit the top right hand corner, rescan. Now straight away on the left hand window, look, we've got one device listed, stellarmate, and the address is in there, 10.250.250.1. That's its own hotspot IP address. So now we can, touch, select that. Okay, so log into stellarmate. So guys, in this instance, as many of you may experience these hiccups as I have, I knew that I'd reset my stellarmate to factory default just in the same state as your stellarmate or new Pi configuration would be. So I took out the SD card and plugged it into the desktop to find out that I was running a little bit of an older version of the operating system, so thought I'd update it to the current version, which currently is 1.5.2. And yeah, sure enough, we loaded that onto our SD card, the current operating system, put the SD card back into our stellarmate, rebooted stellarmate, and fine. We got the green light and the connect tab, as you can see here. I think it was about 30-40 seconds for it to find it, register it, and then log into it. So now let's talk through this screen, and then I think we'll have part 2 of delving into some of the initial equipment profiles and the details of setting up and getting fine tuning within our equipment. Alright guys, so join me on the next video. This is all real here at Wayne's Cave, so I'm not going to hide anything. I'm not going to praise anything that doesn't need praising, and I'm not going to shun anything that doesn't need shunning. So click that bell icon so you know as soon as the next part comes up. And I hope you've been able to follow along, and I hope that you're making these steps successfully as you go. Okay guys, I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now. Okay guys, I hope you found the first part of this series helpful and useful, and to iron over any problems, first of all, it is well worth checking your power supply is definitely 5 volt 3 amps. There are some power supplies out there that are 2.5 amps. That can actually, funny enough, cause issues, certainly when everything's up and running. But also check that you've got the latest app, even if it means there's no loss made by uninstalling it and reinstall a fresh app. And if you've had the Raspberry Pi stellarmate or the operating system on your Raspberry Pi for a little while and haven't used it, i.e. you haven't been online with it, so it won't have updated, or you won't have updated it, it's well worth popping onto the stellarmate website, just double checking you've got one of the latest versions, or a reasonably up-to-date version, even if it's not the latest, which I tend to steer clear of. I let the guinea pigs test the latest for a couple of months and see what hiccups come out of that online and forums before I jump into it. But I'll show you here just now where you can check to see if your operating system is the same as the current one here in the stellarmate site. Alright guys, we'll jump in. Okay guys, so on our stellarmate.com website, we all have to sign in to our specific user account up here in the sign in button. I'm actually already signed in, so click on sign in. You will have been given your username and set up a password, more or less from the off whenever you first purchased the product. So go into there, and then you want to see what version of our operating system you have purchased. So under products, we can go down to orders, and then you click, and sure enough, it's got stellarmate operating system here, and we can see here it's operating system version 1.5.2. I happen to know that it's current enough, as I just recently downloaded a couple of days ago. It may, subsequently to the publishing of this video, obviously, may be slightly different, but if you're running 1.5.1, if it exists, then that's fine. But I do know 1.5.0 is probably the glitchy version, certainly in terms of registering for these initial steps of registering and joining your stellarmate hotspot via the app, which everybody has to do. Even if you want to run desktop application, you have to register your device via the app, and register your device to register your stellarmate to your device. So if you then pick up another tablet, you think, well, I want to run it from here. That is fine, but you will have to go through just that one-off, putting in your sign-in details, showing your license number. And then under support, you can go to licenses, because then in here we've got license keys, serial keys, in there, and under registration as well. It's saying I have one registration, so I guess that's one device registered, one stellarmate registered from one device, which is true. I've only registered my stellarmate and operating system on my tablet. I then just use VNC Viewer on my desktop to enter my stellarmate, but I'm able to do that because I've initially done this registration process. So guys, let's get over to the next part, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for listening. Any questions, I'll do my best to try and help, and hope you're all keeping well, and see you again soon. Don't forget hit subscribe. If you click the bell icon, you'll be notified when the next part is uploaded. Okay guys, thanks for listening. See you soon.